it's not a one-day program. It's actually a structured series of events. And then we've grouped this into three main categories. So we have the pre-summit series, where we have a series of online virtual meetings, which would lead to the main event, which is the main summit, which the climax of everything, what we are actually yearning for. So that is why we have these three series. And then finally, we have the post summit, where we can all sit down and have a heart to heart and have a brunch. So today's particular webinar falls in the pre summit series. So I hope everybody is with me up to this point. If you are with me, I'd like us to have a conversation. So when I say something, you can give me a thumbs up, and then I'm sure you get me. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so cooperative. Right. Right. So as I was saying, today we have the space between where you are and where you are meant to be, which is part of the in-between series, and also one of the first virtual meetings that we're going to have within this pre-summit engagement. So now that we know where we are coming from, or we know what this East Africa is about, sorry, I think there's some software. Okay, I don't know if it's let me remove my Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a noise at the background, so if they can tone down.
Yeah. Um okay. All right. Great. Great. I think it's better now. Please give me a thumbs up if there's no feedback from your end. Great. Thank you. Okay. So now we are officially starting. And I'm going to greet one more time. Yes, Ima, your hand is up. Did you want to say something?
Sorry, no, no, please. Sorry,
Oh, okay. It's fine.
I
No.
didn't even realize it. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So we are about to
Oh,
start. We are starting. This is the main thing. So for those who just joined, my name is Emeralda, and I am going to be the moderator for today's meeting. And I want us to have an understanding that today is not a webinar, it's not a lecture. I'm not the one who is going to talk, and then we'll just go. This is a conversation where we listen to what our guest speakers have to say. We ask them questions, they inspire us. We answer the questions, we get to know each other, and then we can all grow on from there. So this in between series, it's a space where we can all reflect on something that someone has experienced within the field that we are aspiring to be in, or we already are in, that we really talk about. This is a space where we can discuss the journey, where where you are at and where you are trying to be. So that is why it's dubbed in between. So the space where the space between where you are at and where you are trying to be. So it's also where things are not fully clear. You can see the progress, but you can't really pinpoint it, it's not yet visible, and then there are so many questions that also outweigh the answers that you even have. So we are going to explore that reality from different perspectives. Sorry, and we are joined by guests from different backgrounds. They have different experiences, and we want to find the correct answer from different perspectives. You're going to understand different views. You're going to understand actually lived experiences and honest reflections. This is a space where we want to explore honest reflections and not maybe something that is predetermined and then maybe fixed there, that oh, this is the go-to answer. This is a space for honest reflections. I want to encourage everyone who is here that there are no perfect answers. In case you ask the question, there are no rehearsed speeches. This is actually a real conversation. So if you are joining us now, feel free to engage. We'll ask a couple of questions. Though I'm speaking to the audience now. We'll ask a couple of questions, and then you need to feel free to answer as honestly as you can, because this is the space for us to reflect and then learn and grow together. So we are centering today's conversation on one powerful question: what is actually happening in this in between that we are talking about, this stage of growth, opportunity, and personal development? We know that people are working hard, people are learning, people are trying different paths, yet we still feel like we are not where we want to be. So we are here to explore it from these guest speakers, from the angles that they presented in. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce these wonderful individuals. We are going to start with forgive me if I butcher your names. I'm sorry. So I'll allow each speaker to also introduce themselves and possibly correct if I butcher their names. So we're going to start with Thamar Victoria Afedu-Annan. So she's building in the food and agricultural space. She's working closely with farmers and communities to create solutions that improve their lives and expand access to nutritious food. And then our next speaker, we have Charlotte Lex-Acquah. She also works she works in the intersection of digital marketing and learning. She also helps young professionals build skills, grow, and also navigate their development journey while actively learning and also improving herself. And then finally, we have Gideon Degbe. He works in youth development and policy, and his focus is on how young people can move from potential to real impact through these educations and systems and structured opportunities. So, to our guest speakers, thank you for making time to be part of this conversation. And I'll be guiding the discussion and bringing in questions from the audience as we continue. So, welcome, Thamar, Gideon, and Charlotte.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Mada. Thank you. And thank you very much for having us.
All right, appreciate you. Okay, so I'm going to start with the opening question. When you hear the phrase in between, what does it mean to you personally or from your experience? When you hear the phrase in between, what does it mean to you personally or from your experience? So, because we have only one gentleman here, I think I want us to allow him to speak first. So, Gideon, I
Thank
want to
you.
know. This time it's gentlemen first. So today, Gideon,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah, thank you very much, Emeralda, and the Let's Summit team for putting this together. I think it's good. Like you said, it's completely about our experiences and thoughts, so not really any speech. So we are just here to share. some experiences. So for me, in between is basically about um, period in your life where you 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 are not you don't fully look like the future you are looking for yet, but you can also no longer go back to where you started from. To me, that's what it is. Um, there are points in your life where you think, why don't I just quit? Or why don't I just stop what I'm doing? But then you realize that no, I've come a long way to stop. So why don't I just continue to see what happens in the next phase? Look at the number of years you have spent. You look at the number of people that are looking up to you for what you have built. And because you are not getting the kind of results you want, you feel like, well, uh, this is either not the right thing that I'm doing, or it's not the right time, and you want to quit, or you just feel like, okay, let me just end everything. But you look at that period where you've built all, in fact, the period where you've started, the years that you spent trying to put things together, and where you have gotten to. And sometimes you look at the years ahead and you think that, well, this can come so soon. Sometimes you think that this can take many years to come, and you are stranded. You are not sure what to do. For me, that's the in between. This is the period between um, where you do not fully look like your future yet, but you can also no longer go back to where you started. If you give up, everything collapses, everything falls. That is for me what the phrase in between means.
Thank you very much, Gideon. Okay. So, Thamar, I also want to hear from you.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes, so when we say the word in between, what comes to mind is a space of transitioning, not fully where you started, but not yet where you are going. And when I hear the word in between, I think of the hidden season of becoming. So the place where you have left could be when you were unemployed or when you quit your job to be an entrepreneur. So it's where you have left what was familiar, but have not fully arrived at what you are working towards, whether to be the founder that you aim to be. And it also can feel very uncomfortable because you are carrying both the lessons of your past and also the uncertainty of your future. We all aim to make it, we all dream to make it. But how certain are we that this is exactly the dream I'll fulfill? So that is the questionable aspect there. But it's also where growth, preparation, and transformation happens. And for me as an entrepreneur, I would say that the in between is where most of the real stories happen. That is where the real hustle happens. Between the idea and the impact. You started something as an idea, the process is the in between, and the impact. Between starting and scaling, between who you were and who you are becoming. It is the shedding away. If you look at a snake, it's the shedding away of the scales and everything to reveal a new you, a new concept, a new perspective, a new strategy to achieve something. So that is the in between to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Charlotte, I want to also hear from you.
All
What does
right,
it mean to you?
all right. Thank you, Imelda. Okay, so for me, in between means not having all the answers. Like you get to a point in life where like you know that you are working, but then like you are still trying to figure out what you want. Like, okay, I know that in the end I want to make money or I want to get a job, but what am I supposed to do, or how can I get to the money that I want to make, or the job, the dream job that I want to have, or the business that I want to grow? What are the answers that sometimes you might not have? And also to me is when you are moving from one career path to another. For instance, myself, I have a background in HRM, and then I, should I say, ran away, transition to digital marketing, right? So that's, for me, I didn't have, I still don't have all the answers. I'm still in the in between phase. So that is what I would say in between is for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlotte, Thamar, and Gideon. I mean, even from these answers that you guys give, it still raised a lot of questions in my mind, and it also pointed to certain things that touched my heart because the stage where you are lost. Hmm. Okay, so let's proceed. I want to know why so many people are stuck, or why many people feel stuck. Many people. I think my network. Sorry about that. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
I think we can hear you now.
Oh, great. Sorry about that. Okay. So, there's this question: why many people feel like they are hello?
Hello, Emeralda. You have to repeat the
Oh,
Oh,
question
sorry
for
okay.
about
us.
that. I'm sorry. I'm in Sinyane, so I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right. My network keeps cutting.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
I think I didn't hear the
Again.
complete question. I don't know if it's my network or from Emeralda.
Yeah, it's from me. It's from me. My network kept cutting.
I didn't get the complete question. I don't know if,
Yes, I can repeat it.
yeah,
I can
that
repeat
would,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. So, why do you think so many people feel stuck?
okay.
Why do you think so many people feel stuck? So, I'm going to give this question to Gideon. Why do you think so many people feel stuck right now?
Well, I think for me, we feel stuck because we think it's a waiting period. We think that, well, we have to actually wait for the opportunity to fall or the opportunity to come our way. So once, of course, we built something and you have to, you are fixed as a person, your personal values with your skills, with your intellectual abilities, your capabilities, like all of it. That is the period where you are fixed. That is the period where you are strengthened. That is the period where uh, you growth begins, right? Like I think Thamar mentioned something like that. That is the period real growth is. So people actually get stuck because they fail to realize that. That is where growth is. That is where growth happens. You are tested, even in Christianity or even in faith. That period you are tested. Sometimes you are questioned. There are times where I question my faith and I question whether it was I had any kind of backing that is supporting my growth. Because sometimes the thing can be as tough, and you think that Charlie, this one, there are some spiritual forces behind it. Trust me, it can be like very stiff, very tough, and very difficult. And you will not know. See, you will have all the people seeing you as though things are in order, but within you, nothing is moving. And so people think that, well, that is the end of the road, and some of them just give up there. Others also think that, okay, it's time for me. I've built enough. Let me wait for the opportunity to come. But the question is, if the opportunity is not coming, what would you be doing? Okay, so people fail to answer that question. Okay, for me, it happened to me a couple of times, and for years, I've been in spaces where people have seen my potential, and it's also because of what I've built past the years. So, just a bit, I have been a student leader throughout my life in every school, from basic school through to the senior high school to the university. I've been a student leader and always the top, like SRC president, senior boys prefer like the top. And so people see me and it's like, okay, wow, this guy, you have the potential and all of that. And I put myself into things, I put myself into trainings, engagements, and people are looking at me and they're like, well, this guy, you have something. But I get to a point where I need a push and no one is giving me. Because you get to a point where you notice that, well, just a little push, just a little moment. So at that moment, what do? Do you wait or do you build that opportunity that you are not getting? And for me, that's what I have done. Game, seen Tiller consultancy, you see YDP, and that's mostly as a result of this season in my life, where this in between season where um, I was being formed, I was being built, and I was growing, and so out of the growth that I was the opportunities were not coming. I had to create. And from some experiences, you have to create, give other people the opportunity as well so that they can also fall in line, fall in place. Otherwise, I mean, you end there. So for me, I think people feel stuck because they fail to realize that it is the formation stage. And for that, you have to still keep on working hard, putting in your energy, your effort. It's where you allow yourself to grow and you allow yourself to be groomed by whatever circumstances that is shaping you. People fail to realize that. For that one, I think that uh, that's what is actually keeping a lot of people stuck and not growing. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Gideon. I mean, you've said a lot of things, and I'm just taking mental notes right now because you mentioned that one, if if you didn't get this opportunity, what would you do? You made
Yeah.
a statement of that sort that meaning basically, if you are at a stage where you are not getting the push that you want, you have to make it an initiative that I have to do something for myself.
Yeah.
I have to keep on pushing. I have to strive harder. I have to do something. I have to create something because you cannot keep on waiting on people. That's the stage that's the stage that will put you in that in between where you are stuck. You don't know what to do because you are waiting for the push when you could have done something. And you also
Yeah.
mentioned one other thing that is really very useful. Be groomed. Allow yourself to be groomed by circumstances.
Yeah.
It's very very useful, especially in the tech field. because some things will happen and then it will just break you,
Yeah.
and then you feel like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be here, let me just drop this thing. But
Right.
you mentioned
Yeah.
that, oh, allow yourself to be groomed by the circumstance, and I think it's a very very useful point, and it's worth noting. That's why I just had to reiterate on that. Thank you so much, Gideon, for your take. So let's move on to Tamar. Based on your take, you mentioned that the in between is a hidden season of becoming. You mentioned that in your submission. So based on this, I want to ask you this question: is this stage something to move through as quickly as possible, or should we although we are grooming ourselves, we are building ourselves, should we take our time, or should we, by all means necessary, we have to finish this thing as soon as possible, or do we take our time to go through it smoothly? So Tamar, I want to hear your take on this. Is this stage something to move through as quickly as possible, or does it do something necessary for growth?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, in the in between, I will describe the in between as a pendulum. You see a pendulum moving to and fro, to and fro. At first, it looks exciting, but in time, it gets very boring. And so, stability is boring. That's the actual truth. We are here to talk about facts. When you start something, it's very exciting. When you are ending something, it's a relief because you feel like okay, you've achieved something. You feel the impact. You feel very fulfilled. But the in between is very boring. It's very frustrating, and you can easily give up because you need consistency. So in the in between, I would advise that move slow enough to learn what the season is teaching you. And in the in between, there are various seasons. Like in a year, you experience various seasons. Rainy season, the heat. Those that I'm based in Tamale, so we have all kinds of seasons here. We have the Hamatan, we have the heat, we have the raining, and all that. So move slow enough to learn what each season is teaching you, but fast enough that fear does not convince you to remain there forever. So it's all about a balance. I can't say yes to move slow, I can't say no to move fast. You need to balance. Because if you get too comfortable with the stability, remind yourself that you are a business person. I mean, wherever you are, whether you're a business person, whether you're in a class, you are competing. You are competing to move to the next class. You are competing to move your business from where it is to expand to another area or another sector. So it's life is a competition. So you have to move fast enough. So you need to have the wisdom to know how to move slow and fast enough. That is what I will have to say here. And the wisdom in knowing the difference between waiting because you are growing and the wisdom to wait because you are afraid to leave. When I say afraid, I mean is to say fear. There's a fear of getting stuck because when you are stuck, there's no progress. And when there's no progress, that means you are born to fail. So you have to have that motivation to leave the phase where you are, to leave the chapter where you are to the next phase by learning enough to move to the next phase. So this is what I have to say.
Thank you very much. That's a very wise submission. And then I like the analogy you gave with the pendulum. And even if you even look at it at face value, it explains exactly everything that you mentioned, and you wouldn't even have to give extra information if maybe we just take the pendulum at face value. When it stops moving, it's stuck at one position. It remains at the center. It's not going. It's not coming. But then, as long as as long as there's movement, the pendulum works.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very intuitive submission. Thank you very much, Thamar. So your take, the take I'm getting from your submission is that be be slow enough to learn, but fast enough to not lose to fear. So if the audience, if you are listening, please these wise words, you can even write somewhere and quote that Thamar, right? Be slow enough to learn and then fast enough to not lose to fear. And you tag your name there. All right. Thank you so much, Thamar. So Charlotte, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. So my question to you, Charlotte, is uh what where do people most often misjudge their own progress? Where do people most often misjudge their own progress?
Where do people most often,
Misjudge their own progress.
I would say, when they compare their life or their situations with others? Because we know that everyone has his or her journey. We don't move at the same time. Someone will get to the top before the other. Someone would fail and have to go back and work on his corrections and come back. So in situations where we are always comparing ourselves to our friends, that is where we think we are not succeeding in whatever that we want to do. Let's say you have a friend who is a founder of, or let's say it becomes a lot. It becomes intimidating when your group of friends are all doing something with their lives. Like they have foundations, they are they set up businesses and all that, and then there is you don't have anything to your name. You feel intimidated that my friends are really succeeding and I'm not. So when we keep on comparing ourselves to others, that is when we um what word did you use, please? Or what statement did you use?
Oh, I said that where do people most often misjudge their own progress?
Yes,
Own
yes. So
progress.
yes, as I was saying, when we compare ourselves to others, that's when we think that we are not succeeding. We think we are a failure, and then I mean, there's power in our mindset. So when we keep thinking that, then we become that. We end up not working towards it unless you are a person that is motivated by someone's success. But then, if you are intimidated by your friend's success, then you end up being a failure because you think, oh, I cannot do this. My friends can do it. They have the power to do it. But then I cannot do that. So I think that's what makes people misjudge their success. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. This is very, very necessary. Not comparing your life to others. This thing has bothered me for years. This thing, this comparison, because sometimes you look at your LinkedIn and you cannot even find one
I,
achievement.
oh, hmm.
And then you go and check someone like Gideon's page, and then oh God, you look at the achievement and you are wondering, hey, did we all did
So,
we
so
did we
Ramana,
all go to this
can
process?
I share something with you?
Sure, please go ahead.
You know, somewhere last year,
Mm-hmm.
I went to ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "So ChatGPT, this is all the things I'm doing in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have the money for it. What does that make me?" And ChatGPT came with a whole lot of things saying that it's still a building phase and a growing phase, a growth phase of my life. So uh, it's really that you have done something with your life, you have accomplished a lot of things, but sometimes it doesn't also come with a status that it comes with, right? You see me on the roadside with, you know, fighting for Chocho. You see
Mm.
me, these are like normal things we do. A person have done a lot for himself. The person has, you see that the person has made some accomplishment. In fact, let me say this: my LinkedIn is not, it's not overstatement of my profile or what I don't do. LinkedIn is actual statement of myself. And so, some people over exaggerate, right? I my LinkedIn is no exaggeration, but it's actually the effort I put into myself, my growth, things I've achieved. I see at certain levels you don't get value for even the things you have achieved. And I was complaining about. I even had a coaching session on it. I engaged a professional coach to actually talk about that, right? But things are different though. So we sometimes think that, well, everybody has figured it out, but no, people driving in Range Rovers who are still figuring it out. Last time, a friend of mine said, Charlie, Obi you broke, no matter who, Obi you broke. And that's true because sometimes you see someone who is, well dressed, someone is, looking like the boss that the person is, but still, temperatures, if you ask the person emergency, the person cannot get. So that's the life. So it's okay to feel that, but it's also wrong to compare yourself to their status because you really never know what really they are experiencing, what really they are going through, who really they are. You understand? Some people actually got on a silver platter. Yeah, they built it for them to or enjoy it. And you are sitting somewhere building it for yourself, and you think that you want to compare yourself to them. Oh, you will break your mental health. So yes, so this is what I came across last year. A lot have changed though, but I'm just saying that uh, Obia a broke, and that's simply to say that everybody has an issue or a loophole in an aspect of their life that you never should compare yourself to them or anyone. Yes, it gives us some kind of low self-esteem. But the moment you're able to break away from that, you begin to see yourself as a champion in your own space. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gideon. Thank you very much. So this thing that Gideon has said is true. Because honestly, if you are going through LinkedIn and you don't have a strong heart, or if you don't have an objective mind, and you don't work on your esteem, and you take things at face value, by the time you leave LinkedIn, you'll be depressed because
Exactly.
somebody's experience that they can share on LinkedIn alone can, it's a tall list, and you see more, and the see more too have see more. So so I mean, my fellow mates that I there are some that I even completed a school before them. So you think, oh, maybe you are older than them. So if you use that at face value, that oh, I'm supposed to have achieved more. People younger than you is are expectantly or maybe are seemingly doing better. Some are, driving cars. I mean, you don't know the circumstances under which they got whatever they got. They can even legit have worked harder, or they got opportunities that you didn't get. But
Yeah.
if you take it that way, that oh, this person, hey, I have not done anything and this person is doing this, like Gideon said, you break your neck and you be depressed, you have gray hair and you are only in your 30s. It's something that we really have to take into consideration. You are only in a competition with yourself. That's the only thing that keeps me afloat. One major thing it keeps me afloat is that the only person I'm going to compete against is my past self. What can I do new today? What new thing can I do? Yesterday, what was I doing? What can I do better? So you set your own goals for yourself, not against someone else's goals, because your path is different from theirs. So thank you very much, Gideon, Charlotte, and Thamar. Thank you very much. So, audience, I want to also hear from you. Do you want to share your experiences? I'm going to mention your name. You have to say something. Because if in your 20 years of life, I'm sure most of us are in our 20s. If you are in all your 20 years of life, you definitely have been in an in between somewhere. There's definitely a phase where you've been in an in between. So I would also want to hear from you. Do you have a question? Do you have something to share that we can also learn? So I'm going to ask. We have Are you account? Are you here with us?
Yes, yes, I'm here with you, but I just joined, so I just joined right
Oh,
now,
okay.
so I can get to know more about what is going on.
No problem. I can give you a brief, and I still want to hear from you. So are you? I want to
I'll
understand.
go back.
All right. So I want to understand. So to those who just joined, we are discussing about the in between. We are discussing about the in between. So it's the stage where things are not fully clear. You know that progress is happening, but it's not yet visible. And then the questions outweigh the answers that you have. So the name in between, you are not yet there, and then you are not where you used to be, and you have so many questions unanswered. So, Akaho, are you ready to say something to me?
Yeah, so to
Yes.
understand nuclear,
Uh-huh.
that means I'm in a dilemma of decision
Yes.
making, right? So
Yes.
what would be my way forward?
Yes.
Okay,
What
so me
have you
personally,
experienced that? Oh, sorry. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
continue with the question, please.
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you. I was asking if you had a personal experience or something like that.
Oh, sure. Since you're human, they usually have such problem. But
Mm-hmm.
personally, I'm somebody I always follow my heart. So whatever my heart says, what I do. Then one thing I also believe is that when you wake up in the morning, you say your prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you encounter, whatever you do comes from God. So anytime I get into a dilemma, what I do is that I just say, God, whatever I do at this point shall come from you. Because me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible as well. So I have this quotation which always guide me. Which says that James chapter 1, verse 5, which says that he that lack wisdom shall ask from God, and he'll give unto you without finding fault. So it's my belief that whenever I'm into a dilemma, whatever decision I take at that point is coming from God. So either it is good or bad, I believe that it's coming from God. So I just go ahead with one. That is me. Unless maybe I have to learn something new now.
Oh, it's a wonderful submission, and it's also aligned with what our guest speaker said. So ultimately, you're not supposed to sit in one spot. You have to do something. You have to move, whether it affects you positively or negatively. Negatively, you still definitely have to take an initiative. You shouldn't stay in your current state. You should do something. And then you also mentioned that follow your heart. It's very, very important. You also have to follow your heart. You have to follow your heart. But I have a question. So what if I follow my heart and my heart say that I have to wait? So don't do anything right now. We are
Yeah.
following our heart right now. Yes. Or right now it says
Can
yeah.
I come in a bit?
Yes, it's coming from you.
Yes. So I actually wanted to speak on that. So you see, I've always said this, and I've told many people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in life, of course, we serve God, we worship God, but God has also given us the right to make choices. That also means that He has given us the right to make plans for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is first and foremost important to plan what you want, and then you tell God to take control. But if you don't plan and you ask God to take control, what is God taking control of? You understand? So yes, we all have what our heart tells us to do and everything. But what our heart is telling us, have we analyzed and thought, okay, let me put this in plan and in order? And that way you know that, okay, when I tell God that this is what I want, He's taking control of it and He's leading me to get there. But if you don't know the part that you are trying to build on, then if you go to God and tell Him, God, take control, what should God do for you? Okay, definitely you must go to God with substance, with an objective, with something feasible. Otherwise, why are you going to God? What really do you expect Him to do for you? So you hear a lot of people say, well, I'm following my heart, I'm following my dream. I'm following my heart, I'm following what my heart tells me, or what my mind tells me, or what my brain tells me, and all of that. But really, is that what God will look at and say, I'm blessing you? Or it is what you want to build that God will bless you with? Okay, so one time someone, a friend of mine said that sometimes you work hard and God, out of your hard work, God blesses you. There's some level of truth in that. It's God sees the energy you are putting, the plan you've made yourself, the energy you are putting to accomplish that plan, and He brings in the opportunities. But also, like I said earlier, if the opportunity is not coming, what do you do? Do you keep waiting, or do you build? Do you create that space for yourself? You understand? So that's my thought on that. Sometimes we should not just keep it at I follow my heart, but let's make the plan, then leave the plan to God to take us to the end of it. Right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gideon. Thank you very much, Akao. These are very, very useful submissions. So, from Akao, to those who just joined, Akao says that when he wakes up in the morning, he commits all his plans into God and then allows God to lead the way. And we have Gideon also chipping in that in as much as we trust in God, we also have to put in the initiative to build something and then allow God to direct us to the right path. So you build something and then allow God to bless you towards that. Thank you very much, Gideon and Account. Yes, Abena, let's hear from you.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
audible.
I'm in a bit of a noisy place, so pardon if there are feedbacks. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Gifty, and uh, I'm complimenting your moderation so far. We are enjoying the conversation. Well, I am. I hope everyone else is. And just to add to Gideon's submission, the part where he spoke about we needing to make plans and God will work with our plans, it's reminded me of something at a point. I think right after we had finished our tertiary education, I was in a fix about what I was going to do with my life. It was not a very nice time. I remember one of my friends was telling me that it was like I was too much waiting on what exactly is God asking of me to do, and I'm not being proactive on planning my life so that when things that God will work around that. And then so I started, that was an advice I took, and then I started planning exactly what do I want, and then how do I take it from there. But the caveat here is that sometimes too we get too engrossed in our plans that when seasons change and then God requests a transition from where you are going to another place, it's difficult for us to hit the voice and then toe that line. So yes, it's good to make plans, but also be someone who is open-minded to know that plans may not be the same for
When we are in spaces like this, it's like every piece fits into the puzzle and it makes it whole. So personally, I also have an experience with that, and I am also a very, very religious person. Also take my spiritual life very, very seriously, and with that too, I also have it in mind that God is also a God of principle, and also a perfectionist. So he doesn't he expects also us to give of our best, not the best of someone, but the best of you yourself, what you have to offer. But you also have to also be open to listen to him. We have to ensure that we are not always engrossed in our thoughts. So my example is also right after uh, uni. I was working on my final year thesis. So this it's two parts of a whole. The first one is usually about taking opportunity. One of our speakers said this thing, and it's really really important that we take note of this. Make sure that whatever opportunity that is available to you, as long as the right opportunity, the good opportunity, take advantage of it. Take advantage of every opportunity that you get. The right ones, of course, by discernment, you have to take the right ones because you don't know when or where this opportunity will be useful for you. Because I also was in a strong dilemma my whole life. When somebody asked me what I wanted to do, I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do. So I allowed people to convince me. Somebody said, "Oh, be a nurse." Somebody said, "Work in a bank." Obisu said, "Doctor." Obisu said, "Nurse." There were so many professions, and I was so confused. Even as at the time that I was writing my final year thesis, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So when I got the opportunity to do my NS, I had been praying about this thing too. Sometimes believers we go through this thing this season where we are praying, it seems like we're not getting answers, but actually it is a period where we have to also like wait and watch what God is doing while we are working. So I didn't know. I was praying, God, where should I do my NSS? God, what should I do? God, what opportunity should I do? Well, like was I was praying, Charlie. I waited for dreams. What I prayed, fasted, but shit. So I was even thinking that, hey, the prayer that people are praying, people will pray and see exam papers. People pray and God will come down and say that we will be a this. I was asking, hey, me, am I a part? Or which prayer are these people praying that me? I cannot pray some because I want to understand. So I was even asking people, hey, how do you pray? Because it's like my prayer, no, it's not working. But I at that time I didn't know exactly what God wanted to do in my life. So when I got the opportunity to apply for national service, all the opportunities that they gave us, I applied. I applied. Um I got an interview for some of them, and then there was one that I had gotten the opportunity to go and join them, and I was still in a dilemma. I didn't know how will I afford to go and live here and all that. So I was going about my life. I'm still praying. I'm not hearing the answer yet. I'm trying to. I've opened my ears, and to share, but I had to keep my faith and still continue. And then one day, randomly, my HOD called us. We're going to do a poster presentation. So you see, one of those opportunities that I'm talking about, that when you get an opportunity, you utilize it. So we're going to do a poster presentation, and he asked me to bring the poster so that he will see the final work, and if we have to correct something before we can go and present the next day. So he called me. He told me I should bring it as early as 7 a.m. Meanwhile, I was sleeping around 3 because of this poster. I was like, okay, fine. And I knew this man would waste my time if I come to campus, and that he just needs to look at it and tell me that I should go and print it. So why is this man stressing me out? And my laptop at the time too was plug and play. I carried my laptop, went to his office. I set up the laptop, connected. I was always carrying a lot of cables and everything, connected everything, opened my laptop, showed this man, he looked at it. Okay, go and print. And then funny enough, when I went to that place at 7 a.m., the man came like 8:30 towards 9. around between 8:30 to 9. So I was sitting there, no my food, my body, well, now, so you cannot do anything. I was sitting there. I could have left. I was like, no, let me just sit here. Let me see what this one has to say. And then in the moment where I was still packing myself, then he asked that, so what am I doing for my NSS? And I was like, oh, I'm in this company. And then he was like, oh, why don't I do the NSS like in Sunyani? And I was like, oh, they've already told me I should come. And then he said, no, I can, he can speak to them and then they will allow me to do it remotely because he needs me to help with the department and all that. And I was like, oh, I'll be grateful if that happens because I was thinking of how I'll find money to go and rent an apartment in Accra. So it's like all these things, I didn't get a dream that your head of department to tell you that do this, do this, do this. There are people that get it. Yes, there are people that do get it. But I didn't get that. But God was working things out for me through patience because me, I was very impatient at that time. Me, nya what tell me if you help me or tell me if you so me need time. So God was working out my patience. And anything that I was given, I was doing. Even throughout my NSS, I didn't even know what I wanted to be. I didn't know what field. So I went in as a developer and I ran away. The stress I was going through that thing, it was too much for me. So when people are coding, I'll be walking around them, I'll be asking them, oh, would you need me to help you with something? Do you need me to do documentation for you? Because I cannot code. I can mean it's really good. I don't know me so people be writing pages to me. I'm stressed. I didn't have a check because they are coming to ask you what you did. And I was just doing documentation for my people, and they would tell me to lead meetings, and I'll just lead the meeting and all that. I didn't know that I was being shaped to what I wanted to do today. Until one time, my supervisor at the time asked me if I'm interested in project management, and I went to research about it. And funny enough, it was what I was doing. And then I realized that, oh, this is what I wanted to be all along. But I had to go through all those things. I had to take every opportunity that gave me a chance to be able to speak to people, take every opportunity that gave me the chance to be able to write documentation and whatnot, so that when the opportunity presented itself, I will be able to enter the role that I was given. So it's very important that as individuals here, you take you utilize opportunities when they come to you, because at the time that you are stuck in the in between, the lessons that you learned throughout the period that led you to that point is what will carry you through. Because if you are pushing ahead, what are you pushing with? What information are you pushing with? What knowledge are you pushing with? So thank you so much for all your submissions. It's really, really intuitive. It's really, really useful. It hits hard because it's the truth. Thank you so much. Does anyone else want to share their experience or also give contributions towards this discussion? Okay, I'm going to mention names. Let me find somebody. Okay, so we have El Mate. Are you here with us, Mate? Okay. Samuel Anku, can you also share your experience with the in between, or maybe your take on this in between and what we can do during this time?
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Please, am I audible enough?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Once again, thank you for this opportunity to to speak up. Yeah, so I don't really have much to say. I mean, everyone has given a very good intake on their own experiences in regards to their life and career growth. Yeah. As for me, it's not it's not that much though. But then I what I can say is that I value consistency and my little progress I make every day. That's my daily progress. In such a way that for each achievement I make in a day, I count it worthy. That's what I do. And so far as every day I'm pushing, every day I'm pushing, I know there will always be an outcome, even though the road will be very, very bad. There will be trials, there will be it all draws down to your mindset. The mindset is a very key thing in the human mind, in the human being. Yeah. Once the mindset is always positive, I'm telling you, there's nothing that can stop you. Yeah. So basically, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. It's very true. Also, our bodies, our minds, we underplay how much motivation also counts or how much motivation plays a role. We might think that, oh, I need to buy a car before I celebrate it as a milestone, or maybe I need to do something extremely huge before I can count it as a milestone. But if you are able to even, do one exercise for 50 minutes, or you're able to write one report, you should congratulate yourself. Hey, today you've written one, you've written one you've done one exercise, you've written one proposal. Oh, today you were able to wake up at 6 a.m. when usually you wake up at 7. Like, you have to congratulate yourself, because unconsciously you'll be building the habit of motivation and you don't even realize it. And you can celebrate the small wins, so that the big wins will not be too far fetched. Oh, thank you very much, Samuel. So I'm coming back to Charlotte. Charlotte, do you have any other thing that you want to share with us? Like an experience, something that you'd love for the audience or everyone to also experience from your time as a social media manager.
Okay. Well, I would say I was also in your shoes when I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. In school, in fact, from SHS, anytime they ask me what do you want to do, I was like, I don't know. And I'm like, why don't you know? I'm like, I don't know.
It's hard though.
In fact, me choosing HRM, I had the mindset that, oh, every company has an HR manager. So I mean, I wouldn't have an issue working.
Mhm.
That is why I chose that course. But I realized, oh, I'm not feeling, I'm not a people person.
People can be a lot, so
I
it's
cannot
understandable.
handle people like that, right? So, and unfortunately, during my NSS, I didn't really do anything related to HRM. So I didn't get the experience because I thought, oh, maybe in school I didn't get it, but then if I start working, I will get interested in it. But then there was nothing like that. And I along the way I realized that I was interested in tech stuff. I didn't know how to go about it, but I knew that I was curious about it. So that's where I realized my interest. But then here again, the traditional setting where people must know the job, like you have to do the traditional jobs. You have to be a teacher. That's what our parents know, a doctor, a lawyer, a
Yeah.
nurse. So that was the dilemma of should I follow my curiosity? Because when I say that I'm a digital marketer, my parents will ask me, what is that? They don't
They
know.
don't know. All
Like,
they know is that you are behind the computer, you are using your phones.
exactly. And they will even think that you are playing games or yeah, like they don't know what you are doing. And so when I realized that okay, I don't have any skills, like aside going to school. I don't really have hands-on skills. So what do I do? And I started enrolling in online courses. I was just, even though I'm not, because I was curious. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know I had the passion. I was just curious. So like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what is this about? I've been seeing AI. What is it? Then I will see a free course and I'll join. Virtual assistants and I'll join. And 2 months to end my national service, I saw a digital marketing training and I said, oh, I want to do this. The problem was I was in Takrady. The
Mm-hmm.
problem was in Kumasi. And my
Yeah.
parents didn't allow me to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, initially, I wasn't even, I was going to forget about it. I thought the deadline had come in, but then
Mm-hmm.
later found out that, oh, it has been extended. Then I gathered the view. See, my parents are the traditional parents.
Yeah.
They need to know, they need to understand what you are doing. So
Yeah.
I explained and explained, like, when you come, who are you going to stay with? Those things. So
Mm-hmm.
I was really getting tired. Like, should I just be there and follow the trend?
Mm-hmm.
But finally, they allowed me to go, and I'm really grateful for that because of that training, I am where I am now.
Right.
So I guess my my plenty talk is when you are curious about something,
Mm-hmm.
go for it.
Go for
And
it.
yes,
Yeah.
try to learn
Mm-hmm.
new things. Have an open mind. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
learn new things because the world is not staying at the same pace. It is
Yeah.
moving forward. New things are coming. So you
Yeah.
need to make sure that you are side by side with the world. Don't stay a traditional parent.
Yeah. The parents.
And
They
also
still
try
ask me
to,
what I do.
I
Mm-hmm.
know, so try to also carry others along. If you think that they don't understand what you are doing, let them understand. Because if they don't understand, they might bring you down. They might,
Yeah.
their comments and all those negative way they will, yeah. What if you fail? Like nobody else is doing it. You've not
Mm-hmm.
seen anybody doing that has succeeded. Those things, those negative thoughts. If you keep on hearing them, you believe them, and then you end up not finding your passion, and
Yeah.
you'll not even be happy with your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's what I have to share. Stay curious, have an open mind, try to learn new things as you go along. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. So we're coming back to you, Thamar. Your role is quite interesting. Food innovator. Please, can you share something about your field to us? How you were able to navigate this in between in this particular field?
Okay. It didn't come easy, I would say. Aside food navigation, those who are very close to me would realize that this business was birthed out of heartbreak. Not,
Mm.
not man. No, I beg.
You like the clarity.
I should make it. I
We
should
are
state.
taking notes. We are taking
Mm,
notes.
oh, we were ready to. Oh, we were ready to.
I should quickly put it on.
Oh yeah, we were very ready. Yeah, I was very
We
ready.
listen, we don't
No,
judge.
I
We listen,
know.
we don't judge.
Okay, so aside of food innovation, that is being a founder of Girl Farms Hub, that is spearheading processing healthy, innovative food, not just in Ghana but in Africa. I'm also a co-founder of Farm Life. It's a woman-led also business that is centered on commercial farming, capacity building of farmers, as well as aggregation. And yes, we have a lot of success and as well as failures. Whilst with Farm Life, I think 2024, that is where my food innovation was born. The very young startup, we had a farm of over 200 acres, and there was a long period of drought here in the northern Ghana, not just in Tamale. And imagine young ladies using their own money to farm over 200 acres of farm. It's not grants, it's not loan. That is really heartbreaking because there are very few enabling policies surrounding agriculture, and we all know that agriculture is very risky.
Yeah.
So, with that, I was very heartbroken because I lost a mentor. He also lost over 1,000 acres, and he already had hypertension. And so that was where I started. You know what? Surrounded with people who have lifestyle diseases. How can I help? Because aside him, I had a father, I had community members who suffered from either hypertension, diabetes, ulcer, and my attention was drawn to them. How can I help with what I am doing? I should use something that will grow. And that is where my attention was drawn to underutilized crops. In Ghana, in Africa, we are blessed with a lot of crops, but we are all focusing on foreign crops. We have African grapes, we are all focusing on foreign grapes. So vice versa. So I was like, what can I do to use what we have to promote good health? And that is where Girl from South was born. It was born through passion, not to just make profit. We started by making prototypes, research, and how to leverage on what we have to make syrups, food powders, teas, jams. And so far, it has been a graceful journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm making it sound it's easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. We are still in the in between. But what I would say to the audience is let it excite you because you're always learning. Because one question I keep asking myself is when I become a boss and I don't, I sell my shares and I just happen to be passing by my factory one of these days, I think I'll feel bored because there will be nothing else to do than to play golf like an old person. Because there will be no challenge for me. There will be nothing for me to do. And that is really a sad thing, but we all get depressed and heartbroken when we are in the in between. But the in between builds you. I really thank God that I lost my 200 plus farm. When I say it, people will be like, okay, why do you say that? Because if I don't say that, there will be no food innovation. I'll be still overwhelmed with the joys of farming and climbing trees and telling the farmers, the smaller farmers, that go here, go here. And I will never have thought about finding solutions to using underutilized crops that are found in Africa, that are found in Ghana, to bring out nutritional and health conscious foods that would help solve solutions which comes to health and as well as in agriculture. So basically that is it.
Wow, that's very inspiring, Thamar. Very, very inspiring. Because looking at your role, it wasn't very common. I personally have not really seen such a role, and I was curious to actually know what it's about and everything. Thank you so much for your submission. Okay, so Gideon, do you have any last words before we bring this meeting to a close?
Yeah, I just want to share with everyone here. First of all, thank you all for making a time and being with us till this time. But I also want to share with you that that most of the time you will see success revealing your character as much as the in between does. Okay, so success doesn't really reveal itself or reveal your character as much as the in between does. So when nobody is applauding you, and when I mean those running businesses like Thamar and Charlotte, when funding is uncertain, even myself, my organization is in the in between. When funding is not coming, when opportunities are limited, do you still show up? Okay, do you still show up? That's a question you should ask yourself. Because I think that that is where you discover whether your purpose is real or is just tagging along. So the in between actually is what builds you. But ask yourself, do you still show up when all the uncertainties are folding up? And if your answers are straight, and if you are sure of your answers, you know your purpose is real. If not, then you know that your purpose is not. Because that is the period you discover your purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Gideon. Thank you so much, Charlotte and Thamar, for sharing your experiences with us. Um, I'm going to give 1 minute to the audience. If you have any specific question you want to ask any of our guest ministers, um, we have until 8:53 to ask your question, or we are going to bring the meeting to a close. So until it's 8:53, you can raise your hand if you have a question. We give you the opportunity to ask, but immediately it clocks 8:53. Case closed. No questions. So if you have any question, you raise your hand. Thank you, Emmanuel. So sorry about you. Isn't it? It's sad to experience such a thing. It's not going to be a fun experience, but it's just the story is quite funny. I'm sorry. Okay. So thank you so much, Emmanuel, for sharing your experience. And thank you so much, Gideon, Charlotte, and Shama, for gracing us with your presence. It was really an informative session. We learned a lot from your experiences and your submissions. We hope to get another opportunity to have you on our platform to also share more insight into um, your experiences. And to you, our audience, thank you so much for making time. We've been here for an hour. We've been here for an hour and 30
An hour,
minutes. Hey,
yeah,
on my time.
an hour
So
and
we started at, yeah, an hour and 30 minutes. And thank you so much. It's not to sit down and listen to somebody rant and rant and rant. It's really commendable. Thank you so much for your time. We hope to see you when we organize another session. We are going to have um continuous series. This is our pre summit series. So please make it a point to join our sessions until our main summit, our main event, what we are preparing for, the climax of our preparation. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful evening and bye bye.
Bye bye to everybody.
Bye bye.